Organic and made from organic ingredients. What is the difference between these two? It's almost like...
So organic, which means when you say
is that friend zoning organic? Made from like made from organic ingredients. I love you, but as a friend. That's what it means. Approximately 1.5 billion. Is this a 1 year calculation, Sangeeta?
Yes, that's what we are talking about.
नीरव मोदी पैसा लेके जाता है, तुम लोग रोते रहते हो. ऑर्गेनिक फूड लेके जा रहा है, उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं. चलो, वो तो 10,000 लेके गया, ये 15,000 12,000 करोड़. Sorry, I'm going to come back to my regular self, but
So,
can't just soak it and one side is not soaked, other side is soaked and pretend like it's done the job. You literally have to make sure that you're doing it and you're doing it well. That kind of comes true with everything, just the way we make an amazing podcast, right? If you're not doing it well, don't do it.
A big hello to all our viewers, all our subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us again here. Well, friends, I am Sangeeta Singh and we bring you once again Double Trouble, Burst the Bubble right here with my very charming and kind of talkative Raja Mukherjee.
I guess both of us need to be talkative to be a part of this Double Trouble. Here to burst everybody's bubble. Sangeeta, what are we talking about today? I have no clue. What are we supposed to talk about, by the way?
Raja, so, I know you pretty well and I also know that you're very health conscious. So I thought, why not bring in something that kind of resonates with everybody? So we have a very, very interesting topic today. Rather, a topic that I am going to deliberate and probably Raja might just end up, debating it with me because he's so famous to do that. So,
okay.
The topic is, it's a very interesting topic. Like I said, it's all about organic versus inorganic, which is the traditional food, the conventional food, right? Does that ring a bell to you, Raja?
Absolutely. Now it makes sense that we are supposed to do something about organic and inorganic. All right, everybody out there, before we begin, the most important thing, please go ahead and share, like, subscribe, and comment your feedback and opinions below because somebody suggested organic and inorganic in our past episode, and I think that's why we are doing this one. So,
certainly, yes.
Yeah, we are very well reading those comments. Keep them flowing.
Yes. Raja, I have to tell you that I have always wanted to address this kind of a debate. I mean, it's been all over around, everywhere we've been listening, and rather in our own shopping, skills, I must say, every time we step out, we kind of, there is a kind of a conflict, you can say, a confusion at the same time. We really want to understand what it is all about. Mm-hmm. So today, as we bring in this amazing debate here, ladies and gentlemen, I must say, all my friends, I must say that there are a lot of people out there with very, very strong opinions, but I guess when it comes to facts, not really, people are much up to date on it. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Opinions are opinions. Everybody has one and they should have one, which is very necessary in the world that we live. Have your opinion and stick by it, but you cannot debate the facts and researches that go into doing these type of things. Talking about inorganic, I think we have facts and data for at least 60 years or plus because that's the way of food that we've always known. And organic is something that's been happening in nowadays. It's a trend. It's a way of life, as people kind of say. So, Sangeeta, imagine you're in a supermarket and you need to pick out some food for amazing, dishes that you're going to whip up in the evening. And I'm going to come over and make sure I finish them off. So, you have two sections. One is the organic and one is the inorganic. Which way would you lean and why?
Well, this is exactly why we are here on the Double Trouble Burst the Bubble podcast, or this our amazing channel here. The very reason is that all of us, just like you and me out there, are also pretty confused about it and kind of, either they're following the wave, they're following the trend, or maybe just a little bit of knowledge that is available to them on very limited facts that are available to them. And today we're going to unravel it all. So about me, certain products, of course, I'll be going out and reaching out for organic, and certain I can do away with it and I can just go ahead and, choose onto my inorganic food, which is absolutely okay. Traditional food is absolutely fine. Today, yes, we are going to really figure out and help you to understand what is the stark difference between the two. So, firstly, Raja, let's define what is organic for people out there.
Okay.
I mean, we all know we go by labels, but what exactly goes into making an organic product? So, well, very important. Now that we're very conscious about our health, we are aware about pesticides. When it comes to agriculture products, when it comes to organic and inorganic food products, very important. One thing that always kind of bothers us or kind of takes our attention is that what about the pesticides on the food? So talking about organic, just to let you know, it doesn't really use any kind of synthetic fertilizers. There are no pesticides, though they are natural pesticides, is what I must say.
Okay.
No sewage, no sludge, and no irrigation. So these things are not there, and which is how you actually define a product into organic. There are certain criteria which are very strongly recommended by.
So this is what you're talking about, organic, as of now,
yes,
right? Like there is, there is no sewage, no sludge. There is, okay. So yeah, okay, and they do use pesticides and fertilizers in there to an extent.
Yes, very natural ones. Like they use worms. If you know, Raja, if you remember, long back, I don't know, but I have a history wherein I would visit my grandma's native, which was really like a village out there, and I could see that how it was all. When you say the manure was very much made out of the vegetables or all the leftovers that you'd find in the house, and that is how a manure was actually. So that is what organic is.
Okay. Right. So basically,
that doesn't mean that it has no fertilizers. These are very natural fertilizers.
Understood. Okay. Okay. And inorganic, again, that you've got fertilizers in there. I mean, organic, we could actually, talk about cow dung, gomutra, all of these things that kind of come.
You know the earthworm?
Yeah.
Which is actually used to create the manure.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the organic. When I say organic food, when I say organic products, I talk about very natural fertilizers, using whatever is available to you in your environment, to your surroundings.
Understood. And inorganic, why is Sangeeta, as per you, why is there such a huge debate in the world around us about organic and inorganic? Is it because of the positioning and marketing of these things? Because the whole concept of you should know what you put inside your body. I mean, come on. We as humans are inorganic to a lot of an extent, right? I mean, an average life expectancy of a human being 100 years back was 40-50 years.
Right
now it's 80 years.
So true.
Yeah,
lifespan is really high.
Correct. So if humans are inorganic and if they start eating organic, would that make sense? It's a plus and a minus equals to a minus, right?
But Raja, do you and I here on the screen look absolutely healthy to an extent, for a matter of fact, and till about 5 years, I really didn't know what organic was.
Till about 10 minutes back, I didn't know what organic was. Thank you so much, Sangeeta, for introducing me to this amazing concept of organic and inorganic. No, I did know, because you go to a shopping mall and you see like organic is $300, inorganic is 30 rupees. I'm like, there's an extra zero. That's all. They're like, don't worry, say just a zero. I'm like, yeah, but that zero needs to be in front of the number, not behind the number. That makes a whole dynamic shift. Do you think is organic?
But you know what has this zero done to the organic market?
That's what I'm trying to understand. Do you think in terms of organic, just because the pricing is high, the people believe the more the price, the better the product, right? The human psychology ek hisab se ki matlab, if the price is more, maybe the product is of a better quality. They don't know, right? This is the pricing psychology in humans, that they believe the more the price, the better the product. That usually does happen in cases like laptops, products, phones, all of these type of things. But over here, are we going to discuss mera apple 500 ka hai, tumhara apple 100 ka hai, or what are we doing over here? Is that mentality what's driving the organic food up?
But as you very rightly said, wherein it is very justifiable of what you're saying, that zyada mehenga hai, so it's much better. Something which is more looks expensive and is expensive, then simply it is much better. But I also think, like I did say earlier, Then there's this wave which is there. I think there's a lot of we always are into a constant and heavy influence of what we see around. And I
Correct.
think this entire bubble that we are here to burst has been created by the big marketeers out there. You know, there's always somebody behind
This
pushing
is
something.
this
to the
is
forefront,
called
right?
the burst your bubble moment at Double Trouble. Here to burst your bubble.
Certainly.
Pop. Yeah. So this
Just to let
we
you know,
should have the burst your bubble moment every time when we actually speak the enlightening truth that no one's spoken about. So yeah, this is the moment where we pop the bubble out there. So you're
Yeah,
saying this is a trend, a fad that will eventually fade, and every bubble, right? Let's say, you know, technically the dot-com bubbles or the crypto bubbles or tulip mania or whatever has kind of happened in the past, right? Which the economics drives the price up, the pricing and demand supply. So do you think this bubble will eventually burst and people will be like, you know what, it's okay, you eat organic, inorganic, it doesn't really matter? The pricing will possibly come down in the future. This is all assumption theory that we are also talking, right? Because there is not too much of data and facts about organic and inorganic. Is there inorganic? To yes, past 50, 60, 70 years since we've started studying food and what we consume, yes. But with organic, Sangeeta, is there any data out there that you've kind of read up on or something like that?
See, before I bring in the data, most importantly is to understand that how the market has really grown exponentially. You know, in the last 4 years, if you actually get to see from 2016 to 2020, now that we are here, just to let you know that it has grown more than fourfolds. Okay, so when
Wow.
it was 4,000 crore a market, today it is almost about $1.5 billion US, specific to India. And if you look at the global numbers, we're talking about more than 265
So you're telling me
billion.
only in India we are spending about $1.5 billion on organic food?
Yes, that's what we are
So
talking
see,
about.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying.
it's
Who
going-
said there is poverty in India, by the way? Are you kidding me? There's $1.5 billion you're spending on organic food, and you're telling me this is the poor country. I mean, can you just give me a little
And
bit
that
of?
too, also when you really don't have much of data at hand, you know, we all, you know, everything that we hear is more on what we hear and, you know, a little bit that we read, and it's more of half knowledge.
But
so let me tell you, there's no
huh.
specific data available that organic is far more better in terms of the nutrient value that it brings along, in terms of sustainability that we talk about. So there is no data available. You know, I think each and every marketing company out there, or each and every organic food company out there, does their bit to kind of put it and push it to you. It's more of a push, which you know, we get to see in the organic food market.
But organic food, are they really 100% organic to the T?
Oh, well, I must say they are not. They are not. And a very simple example that I like to quote here is, say, Raja, you and me farming together. I am somebody who's doing organic farming, and you.
I mean,
just
if you're
found
farming,
me-
I'm farming for sure. Or else I'm not farming.
and you are farming. You're doing your traditional, conventional farming,
Okay.
and you are using all the possible pesticides, fertilizers. You know, you're talking about your radiations, everything that you're doing there. The wind blows, and you will definitely find pesticides on my crop.
Okay.
One has to be very careful. And more than anything else, Raja, I really think sustainability. We've been talking about sustainability all across. I think procuring anything that is local to you is far more better than, you know, traveling miles. So logistic is a big problem out there. So yes, of course, that again creates a lot of problems. So yes, you know, this is where I would like to kind of.
So let's say, you know, I did read a little bit just because I wanted to show off a little bit over here, and it said products can't be 100% organic because a bread is literally 70% organic, and there's a 95% organic, and there's a 90% organic. But there is nothing called a
So you
100%.
have 100% organic, then you have 95% organic, then you have just about made from organic ingredients, and then you have the non-organic. So can you
What the hell
understand
is just
labeling
about
that goes
made from organic? Like that's like मेरे को जाना था मगर गया नहीं, इधर ही बैठा हूँ मगर जाके आया. Like what are we trying to do with that? I mean, what is
Exactly.
just about organic? Can you fine, whatever. I think unless they say 100% organic, it's not 100% organic. Is that
Yes, just to let you know, friends, a quick idea on the labeling that we have 100% organic, and then we have organic, and then we have made from organic ingredients, and then we have non-organic. So do you understand? The kind of complication
Organic
that
and made from organic ingredients. What is the difference between these two? It's almost like
So organic, which means, Raj, when you say
is that
100%
friend zoning organic? Made from like made from organic ingredients. I love you, but as a friend. That's what it means. It's not what it looks like, guys. It's not what it's look like. I mean, these guys are complicated too much.
It's pretty complicated. So it's not all that.
So guys, for me,
You are
if it's complicated, stay away from it because they will fool you and not make you understand what it is. So
I was gonna say that. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So when you go and if you think you've read the label and the label says organic, you really need to go into the details of it, because that is where that is where it's out there. That is where you kind of get fooled. So just to let you know, when it says 100% organic, which means it is made entirely from organic ingredients.
So,
and when it is just about organic, then you should know it's 95% of the ingredients that have been used in terms of your fertilizers or anything, for a matter of fact. Then you know that only just about 95% of the things which go into making of that crop or that food are organic. When you say made from organic ingredients, anything which has about 70% of organic ingredients, which means it is organic.
Basically, there is no way that you can even get out a study or a data whether eating 70% organic food is healthier than eating 100% inorganic food, because what's happening here is there is still pesticides or whatever going inside your body. So how are you going to come to a conclusion कि ये सही में help कर रहा है कि नहीं? It's just a nice packaging that it's going to look like it's going to save the environment and all of that, but I don't really know how much.
Not necessarily it is going to save the environment, because what happens is in terms of organic, the field that you're using to kind of have your yield, and not necessarily. So it has to have a gap of about 3 years to really go out and produce. And at times
again.
Yes,
and at times after one harvest.
Yes, after one harvest. Because if you remember, back days in school, we used to call about the kharif and the rabi crops, right? What was the reason that we would circulate and we would do this? So that there are certain crops which need a certain kind of thing from the fields, and then there are other crops which give a certain kind of things back into the field, so which is very important. But what happens is a lot of these farmers, because of the limitations of farming, because of the limitations of organic farming, just to be very precise, they kind of do out of season crops, and then for which they need a lot of artificial heating systems and things like that, and that again creates a problem to the environment. So
basically a greenhouse can be an issue as well. A greenhouse can be an issue in itself, right? Okay.
Yes.
So in that case, is it safe to say you should just consume seasonal food or fruits that are
seasonal
available?
And local?
Seasonal
whatever
and local. Okay.
You going for olive oil, but you don't realize you live in a very moderate temperature. And olive oil, it's not something which is grown in so if you're from Mumbai, right?
Correct.
You don't see it here. Raj, people talking about the quinoas.
Correct.
And quinoas are not to be found anywhere in India.
So superfoods, basically, whatever they kind of call it, super healthy food or whatever, the entire fad saying tea bags are green tea is going to make you lose weight or whatever stuff like that, but I think any tea is going to make you lose weight, right? If you drink a lot of hot tea, it's just going to melt the fat inside your system. It is just how it is. It is an antioxidant. It has oxidants in antioxidants in there just in a tea leaf. So it can be Tata Agni, not sponsored, guys. I mean, I wish Tata sees this video.
I wish we had one.
Yeah, or Tata Green Tea. Again, you guys can sponsor if you want. Or any of the other brands. Hey, by the way, HUL, I don't mind.
The organic brand, the most famous and the oldest one in India is Farm to Kitchen,
Okay, yeah. So, see, that's what I'm saying. But I've also read somewhere, just like skimming through, there are some organic foods that can be a little more harmful than your inorganic foods.
Yes, totally.
The whole idea of organic is not harmful. Organic is healthy. So there are some foods that can be more harmful than inorganic or hybrid.
Totally. And I completely agree with that. The very reason, because Raja, I think we did make a mention in the beginning that there are no available facts wherein talking about the nutrition value of organic. I think this is where we need to spare a little more time here. Because every time we talk about organic food, we're talking about antioxidants, we're talking about flavonoids and all those, But then there is no database that is available to us that how much antioxidants do we really need. Okay, how much antioxidant does it? So there is no data. We may know, you need 60, mg of proteins or all those, but we really don't know how much antioxidants can your body actually absorb.
Okay.
So this is one thing, and organic food is all about being marketed and labeled as antioxidant, and rich in antioxidant. But just to let you know, no data available on that. Second, in terms of, just to let you know, organic food products are also very less in proteins, less in amino acids. So where you are talking about a lot of enriching in antioxidants, but we don't know how essential it is for us. There, in terms of proteins, they show that they are much lesser into organic food.
Right.
So yes, this is there. Another thing, we've been talking about pesticides. Raja, about pesticides, again, there is no data available to you that this amount of pesticides is okay to be consumed. So the kind of pesticides that you get on your inorganic or your conventional food, it is absolutely okay to consume that much or that amount of pesticide.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah.
Are there any foods that have, like out of the top of your head, do you think any foods that are better organic?
I will not say better organic or inorganic, because here we're talking more about a great coexistence. But yes, I'm going to name a couple of food which is there's this terminology which is called as a dirty dozen. So these are the food. Yeah, these are the foods that you really have to make sure that you are consuming organic. The very reason is because they tend to have a lot of residues of pesticides. So
but then again, you do have vegetable cleaners and washers these days, right? Made out of, during COVID, especially when ITC launched a product like a Neem wash, which has neem and all of these things that clears up the pesticides and all the residues. Don't you think it really doesn't matter anymore if it's a dirty dozen or it's a dirty 2 dozen?
But not everybody is pretty much aware about it. So it's very important that we be aware of at least about these chosen, dozen that we know, and we have, at least even if we are consuming it, we try to consume organic. And if not, if you're buying inorganic, which is okay, but then you need to have these, you have your apple cider to wash, or these kind of things then they have to be very well cleansed, and they have to be very well washed, for a matter of fact.
Okay.
It's very important.
You can't just soak it and one side is not soaked, other side is soaked, and pretend like it's done the job. You literally have to make sure that you're doing it and you're doing it well. That kind of comes true with everything, just the way we make an amazing podcast, right? If you're not doing it well, don't do it. Yeah, we just had to plug it in somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah, tomatoes, cherries, apples, spinach, kale.
Tomatoes, cherries, apples. What else?
Apples. You have your kale, spinach.
Okay.
And most important is apple. Let me just once again reiterate this.
Is it more of the red and the green vegetables?
Leafy, more fruits.
More fruits and reds, basically.
Yes. And your potatoes, for a matter of fact, your celery, for a matter of fact, anything which is more leafy, you'll see that there are a lot of residues, because Raja, it is impossible to go out and really clean up your spinach pretty well. And then if you think of doing it with hot boiling water, again, it's a problem, because it might just happen to lose its nutrient value. So so you have grapes, peaches, you've got pear, all these food, preferably go out and buy organic.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Let me also throw some light on the Clean 15.
Okay.
So here I must say, you don't have to sweat. You can just go and buy, whatever is available to you on the shelf. You're looking for that, just go and grab it.
So you've got the dirty dozen and then you've got the Clean 15. These are two terminologies that play a part in this entire thing.
Yeah, avocado is my favorite. So
okay.
Just go buy it. Because these are the products that you actually peel.
एवोकाडो ऐसे भी महंगा आता है, वो थोड़ी ना ऑर्गेनिक ले सकते हो, तो और फिर 2000 रुपए का एक आएगा, 200 का एक मिलता है, ये इतना महंगा नहीं चलेगा.
You realize you need to peel it, right? When it comes to peaches, when it comes to tomatoes, most of these are consumed just the way you wash them. Apples you really don't want to peel, grapes you don't peel, so these are just consumed. Celery you don't go peel, you just kind of consume. But when it comes to avocados, you don't have sweet corn, you never have it raw. You kind of boil it, you kind of roast it. So yes,
roast it, burn it, boil it, do a bunch of things to it.
Pineapple, you need to completely peel it, right? So pineapple is again very safe. Don't get into this organic and inorganic debate. Just go grab your pineapple and have it. absolutely rich in antioxidants, I must say that. Then you have onions, again you're peeling it. Papaya, again you're peeling it.
Right.
So you've got sweet peas, the frozen ones, again very good. Then you have eggplants, you have asparagus, cauliflowers, you've got broccolis, mushrooms, cabbage, honeydew, melon, and kiwis. So these are the clean 15 that you can go out and not get into this whole big confusion.
Right.
So yes,
right.
Dirty Dozens, make sure you're buying more of organic, and the clean 15, go out for whatever is available.
Alright guys, if you didn't get it, rewind the video, check it out, or else just go on Google and put Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. मिल जाएगा यार, क्यों टेंशन ले रहे हो इतना? Tension mat lo ab. Yeah. You comment down what you want to see. We'll tell you more about it. Yeah.
Right. And then also we have a lot of, this is for all the vegetarians. How about for people who are into organic meat and dairy products and all those kind of things? That's again,
that's a different conversation in itself, I guess.
Totally.
It totally gets into another space of things. So, in the conclusion thought, is it safe to say there are too many data and facts provided about the inorganic food or the general food that we consume versus the trend and the fad of the organic food that is currently available out there? But that also gets me to thinking, if they wanted us to really buy the organic products, they would have published too much of data that it would have changed our perspective towards, right? That also gets me to thinking in this space. Is this all? I'm just playing the devil's advocate, right? Is this a debate that organic foods, even though it just come here, they're not really focusing on it and saying, oh, inorganic food is fine, blah, blah, blah. Is it because they want to sell more pesticides and they don't want people to move away from it? We will never know that. We will never know that, guys. We will never know that. So,
that's a conversation for another day, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I love conspiracy theories, right? So,
but Raja, I think that also gives rise to the parallel industry when you talk about natural fertilizers.
Correct.
Correct. When you go into the market, you actually can pick up natural fertilizers. You see that, okay, these are natural ingredients and great for your farming. So nobody is actually going out and producing their own manure at home. It's not being done. You see that? It's not like a backyard. You have 7 billion people across the world, to be fair, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sure more after the lockdown and the COVID era, there'll be more babies out there. So yeah. In the coming time. So guys, there are too many mouths to feed and too less fertilizers available in the organic market. So hence, or the inorganic market as well. So hence there is going to be more production and agriculture and farming that's going to take a forefront as well, because demand supply, just simple economics in its own way, right? So is it safe to say that, just concentrate on the Dirty Dozen and the Green 15? Stay safe, and even if you're getting the Dirty Dozen, don't fret, just clean it out and wash it out well, because there are the things called the pesticides and drugs and things that are pumped
all the residues, totally.
That you will just need to take care of.
When you're paying that kind of a price which people are charging, make sure that you're really reading into the details. Just because something has written in big bold letters that it's organic, but just go into the label, read a little more, and know that is it worth paying or is it not worth paying.
Approximately 1.5 billion. Is this a 1 year calculation, Sangeeta?
Yes, that's what we are talking about.
नीरव मोदी पैसा लेके जाता है, तुम लोग रोते रहते हो. ऑर्गेनिक फूड लेके जा रहा है, उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं. वो तो 10,000 लेके गया, ये 15,000 12,000 करोड़. Sorry, I'm going to come back to my regular self, but 1.5 billion, guys. Fine, man. Yeah, figure it out. Yeah. Like in that case,
looking at a CAGR of 25%. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow,
right?
CAGR of 25%. Yeah. For the people that don't know, it's the compounded annual growth rate of 25%. Figure it out. So, मतलब आज जो है 4 साल में वो डबल भी हो जाएगा.
डबल भी हो जाएगा.
इससे अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट कहीं नहीं मिलने वाला है. उठा लो. But
one thing I think, Raja, which very strongly we should tell all our, all our viewers out there, our listeners out there, is this is a never-ending debate. But if you're paying the price, please make sure you're looking into the labels. Very clearly, you're really getting into the details of it. Second, organic and inorganic can coexist. It is very important. So
Mhm.
don't get lost into this entire, this whole frenzy, that whole
Let's
cloth
just say
which is
it's a lifestyle product to begin with. I mean, if you want to figure it out, if you're there in top of the triangle, you want to like consume more lifestyle products and save taxes in terms of expenditure, you can go ahead and just keep buying organic
and
forever.
I know what is you have gluten free, and there are so many things. I mean, if you
Yeah, I
look,
mean, gluten free, that's another conversation for another time. But
that's the thing. I
for
mean, but
age old,
this is what
like the world
created.
has existed for so long and people have been eating gluten and all of a sudden gluten free.
Which is what I'm telling you.
If someone
This
tells me
is
this cake is sugar free or this is sugar free, I'm like, मतलब इसके साथ चीनी free में मिलने वाला है कि इसमें है ही नहीं चीनी? So they're like, no, it means it doesn't have chini in it. I'm like, but you said it's sugar free, so where's my free sugar? Yeah. I'm
So,
not supposed to talk like this.
So, our listeners, our followers should know this one thing, that every time something has to be pushed, these are the products, these are marketing gimmicks, and everything that needs to be pushed, a bubble has to be created.
Correct.
And Raja and me, time and again, will be coming and bursting the bubbles, and that's what we are trying to do with Double Trouble.
Double Trouble, here to burst your bubble. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in on today's podcast, which was organic versus inorganic and the entire conversation around it. And thank you guys, whoever put this in the comment. I mean, keep commenting below on what you really want us to be talking about. And, if it catches my interest or Sangeeta's interest, we will definitely have a lovely conversation about it just the way we did today. Right, Sangeeta?
Absolutely. We are reading all your comments. We are pretty much aware, and we make sure that everything that you want to listen to, we will definitely be bringing across. As far as our knowledge goes, we'll try to bring it across in terms of all the facts, the figures. We'll definitely try to share as much as we can.
Okay, with that, we wind up today's episode on organic versus inorganic foods and products. This is Double Trouble, here to burst your bubble. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe organically in life. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. While you talk about organic, make sure you're also taking care of sustainability, because that is how the way forward has to be. With that, Sangeeta Singh signing off with Raja Mukherjee on Double Trouble. Stay tuned with us.
All right. Bye-bye. Peace.
Ciao.